ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله ربه بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله فبلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة فاللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا والإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جزيت به نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن رسالته اللهم آمين. All praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may the best of peace and blessings be on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who shows us guidance and the one who is leading us the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the way towards Allah azza wa jalla. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu ittaqullaha haqqa tuqatih. O you who believe, be conscious of Allah as you're supposed to. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. اتقوا الله, in the other ayah, fear Allah, be conscious of Allah, and let every soul think of what it gives for tomorrow, what you have done for tomorrow, for the future, for what's coming. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Indeed, Allah Azza wa Jalla is aware and well acquainted of everything that you do. Sanatun Madat. This is a year that's gone. Today is the 25th of the Hijjah, the last month in the lunar calendar, which is the calendar chosen by Allah in His Quran to set up timings for everything, beginning and end of Mawasim al-Ibadat, seasons of worship, and so many other systems. The timing, the calendar that's been used is that calendar. Today is the 25th of the Hijjah, 4 more days to go towards the end of the year. We came to this life, and this marks the beginning of our lifetime. This marks the beginning of how many years, how many months, and how many days, and how many even seconds and minutes that we have in our life. And when a year is gone, we say we have lived this year. We lived this year. Actually, we died this year. We are getting closer and closer to our death. What is remaining for us is decreasing day after day, and that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us in this ayah, if you are truly conscious of Allah, ittaqullaha wal tanzur nafsun, let every soul think and consider what it presents for tomorrow. This is a year that's gone. وَكَذَا السِّنِينُ مُضِيُّهَا طَيْفٌ بِسُرْعَتِهِ خَفَتْ تمضي وتحكي كل حادثة سرت تمضي وقد كتبت من العجب العجاب وسطرت. A lot of incidents and a lot of things are happening. This is a year that is gone with everything that has happened in it. تمضي وتفشي سرها وتنوح لو هي أسمعت يا صاحقة بحت حبال الصوت بل هي بالصراخ تمزقت. This time that has passed has been calling on us day after day. The sun comes and the sun goes down, and it is one day that's gone from our life. خِلْفَةً لِمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يَذَّكَّرَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sets the time in succession, so for whoever wants to get reminder, he will get reminder. The bad thing is 1 year is gone, but the good thing is we are still alive and we have one more chance. If we missed something in the summer, then the winter is coming. If we missed something last year, then a new year, inshallah, is coming with a new hope to do a lot of things. Problem is, we might go heedless. We might not really be aware of what is happening to us. هل نحس فعلا بالزمن? Do we really sense the time as it passes? Do we really feel that it is part of us that's gone? Do we really feel that we are getting one step closer to meet with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and report to Him, and He will question us? Do we really feel that? It looks like كما كتبه الشيخ الطنطاوي عليه رحمة الله قبل ما يقرب من 50 سنة, some 50 years ago. Sheikh Tantawi, he wrote an article, and he was talking about the future that never comes. He was talking about the future that looks like an illusion for us humans. A future for those young kids. What is it that they are looking at in the future? What is it that they are looking at to achieve? To get a new toy maybe? To finish the elementary school? To be in the high school and be like those big boys? And then what is it for the high schoolers? It is to get to that university, to get to that college, to finish that kind of education. And then when you finish that education, when you achieve, when you get that degree, what is it that you're looking at? You're looking at a certain job. This is your future, and this is your hope, and this is what you are aiming at and shooting for. And then you get this job, and then what's after that? You're looking at getting married and being with a nice spouse and starting a good family and everything. And then you start the family, getting kids, and then you're looking at maybe achieving better and making better in your job. And then every time you get to that future that you are thinking is future, it's not anymore future, it's present. And then you're looking at a next step, the next step, until you have achieved probably everything you're looking at in this life, and it's gone. It moves from future to present and then to past. And then what's after that? And he was saying we always think and tend to think of life, it is like a travel, like a flight that you are taking. And many people, majority of people, are only worried about what class that they are getting in this travel. Is it the economy class? Is it the first class, business class? Everybody is, we are already in this travel, and we are always thinking about upgrading in our travel. I need to be in the first class to get that kind of food, to get that kind of service, that kind of comfort that I'm looking at. And then not many people are thinking, what's after travel? The flight is going to come to an end, and I'm going to be somewhere. I'm heading somewhere. And it's better to focus in investing in that target and stay, rather than investing in a flight that will definitely come to an end. As if كأن الموت يأتي ويحصل لجميع الناس ولا يأتي لنا. And we always tend to think as if death will come and reach every single person, all humans, but not me, but not us. We know it and we believe in it, but we tend to think that it's going to be some time before our end will come. This time is but a cycle. Beginning of a year or end of a year, it just marks to how it begins is in Muslimun at the time of Umar, shortly after the death of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, a few years, and they started their state and they were exchanging writings, and then Umar received, or actually Abu Musa al-Ash'ari received a letter from Umar, the head of the state, the Khalifa of Muslims, and there was no date. So he said, O commander of believers, we receive a lot of letters from you with no dates. If you could choose some kind of a date system, so I know what letters. And then Umar discussed the issue with the Muslims back then, and they decided how should we start our calendar and how should we, what kind of calendar we use. And many people suggested different calendars. They ended up choosing the calendar, the lunar calendar, beginning from the hijrah of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the time that he migrated, simply because it made all the difference when the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam moved from Mecca to Medina. A lot of changes came with that, and it was a new beginning for Muslims. They marked that as day one, even though the hijrah itself, the migration, did not happen in Muharram. They chose Muharram to be the first month in this year, even though it was not actually the month that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made the hijrah. Time for me and you is a fact, is something that we live, is seconds that we live. The Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said the time will come, يعني يتقارب الزمان, the time will draw near and will kind of shrink, so that a year would look like a month would look like a week would look like a day would look like an hour would look just like the time you take to burn one of the old plants or something. And this is probably what we live. We always talk about this. I remember we were talking about this some short time ago, but this was a year ago. Time just passes, Ramadan comes and goes. Our kids, we see them, they are young, but they are growing year after year. You remember, they were in the elementary, now they are in the high school. They finished the school, and you remember, it was just like last year or something when they were just very young infants or toddlers or something. Time passes. And if you want to check that, they always say that look at the mirror and look at your old pictures, and you will know that time is really working on you. So they said time works on you, you have to work on it. Now at this point we need to look back at this year. A year is gone. What did we do in this year? Many of us, we just tend to go with accident, whatever happens, whatever comes our way. A friend is calling, let's go out, let's spend some time here and there, fine. No, we need to plan. We really need to plan for our life. This is our life. We'll be questioned about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this time. One of the things that the person will be questioned about in the day of judgment, he will be questioned about his lifetime. Allah give you a lifetime. What did you do with it? How did you spend it? How much achievement did you put there? This is something that we have to report to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is something that we are in the process of making right now, so we better make and do good things, so we'll be proud of those good things later on, inshallah. Sanatul Madat, wa Allah tabarak wa ta'ala yukhlifu fima mada. It is some time that's passed, 1 year that's passed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us another chance to look at what we are doing. We need to look at our individual level, community level, and ummah level. Where are the setbacks? Where are the mistakes? And what are the gains? We have definitely achieved good things. We need to look at those good things and maximize them. And we have definitely wasted some time, a lot of time. If we truly put and honestly put the time that we, at least the time that we remember, how many trips that we have taken, how many hours that we spent, it would be shocking for us. It would be shocking for us how many hours we just spend watching things, which is part of your lifetime. How many hours you spend just chatting, talking. Much of that talk, or a lot of that talk, is it really, we need to ask ourselves, is it really beneficial for us? Or is it really good? Many of that is ghaiba, backbiting, or at least waste of time. How much do we achieve? And if we compare this to the successful people at any time, and we usually look back at our history, a big ummah, a big civilization of Islam and Muslims, back when Muslims were truly successful at the ummah level, when you look at the individuals, you would see them really serious. They have achieved a lot at the level of their ummah. Look at their lives, you will see them so concerned about their time and how they spend their time. You see some people looking at the scholars, for example, like Abu Yusuf, the friend and student of Abu Hanifa radiallahu anhu, as he was in coma and he was almost dying, and a friend of his is coming to visit him. He was in coma, and then he wake up, he retained consciousness, and the first thing he welcomed the person who was visiting him, and he said, what do you say about such and such mas'ala? He is discussing with him one academic, scientific issue. And he said, do you think this is, yeah, Imam, do you think this is the right time for it? He said, why do we waste our time? لَعَلَّ نَاجٍ يَنْجُو بِهَا. Maybe this very point that I'm offering and discussing with you right now, maybe it will be a point that's needed for somebody to survive. Somebody later on would need the answer for that question. Let's discuss it. And then they discussed the issue. He finished with it. And then he said, the one who is visiting him, he said, it was just a few, as I was leaving, I reached the door of the house and I just heard the family are crying for him. He passed away. They didn't have any time to waste. Maybe it's too extreme to go to that level even when we are sick and some people are visiting us. We don't want to waste our time, but maybe we went the other extreme. Maybe most of our time is being wasted doing what? We need to check on that. We need to check. That's not to judge. This khutbah is not meant to judge everybody. It is mainly to raise the awareness and ask ourselves the question, do we really feel the time? Do we really consider it to be the most important capital that we have for the investment of life? Are we really worried about what class that we are taking this flight, even though we know the flight will come to an end and we will finish? It's not a problem. Be in the best of classes as you are flying, but more important is to think about when I'm landing, when I reach my destination, what kind of hotel, especially since we know that there's no way back. It is just one-way flight and you're going to stay there forever. So it's better for us to focus on the point that we reach when we land, rather than thinking more and more about the temporary flight that we are taking. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.
لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين الآثمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله رب العالمين وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله الأمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. So this is, a reminder for all of us to know how important is this time for us. We really have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things to do for ourselves, for our families, for our communities. And then all of that need to be done. A lot of things need to be done, especially for us here in this community, especially in America and in the West, when we live in a community that Islamophobia is hitting really hard, and our faith and our religion is being attacked. And in this course, also Muslims and those who look like Muslims and talk like Muslims and live like Muslims will always be under attack. Like this thing that's going on today. Somebody there in Arizona is calling for an armed gun protest in front of the masjid. Under the freedom of talk, you have the freedom of expression. You can freely express what you have. And obviously in many states, and maybe all the states, it's okay to carry guns. It's only problem to use those illegally. But they forget in the other hand that it's also our freedom we have our freedom to believe whatever to our faith and to express our faith and practice our faith freely with not being threatened like that. It is threatening when a group of people decide to go in front of a masjid and take a gun and provoke others. That's not right. So we are not here to condemn and take that course. We don't have also to panic or go that way. But we really need to, as the Quran says, idfa billati hiya ahsan. Resist and push back in the best way. And the best way is those people, I look at them as victims. They don't know what Islam is. And then it's going to be our responsibility to tell them what Islam is. Not only to tell them, actually to live Islam for what it is. And to be more, to do things differently. Instead of being in our shell and our masajid and doing very good ibadat, which is beautiful, we need to reach out. We need to teach people. We need to use the expertise that Allah Azza wa Jalla has given us to take Islam to the next level in this community, so it will be better for the next generation. So my son and my daughter and our next generation, they will practice their religion and what they believe in freely, without having to worry about somebody carrying a gun and staying in front of the masjid to threaten them. And this is, let me put it this way, this is what it is, to threaten them. So that nothing will come, results and consequences will not come with no action. We have to take an action. We have to take an action. The potential of Muslims is so huge. We can do a lot of things. Let's not belittle what we have. We just need to activate that. We need to feel that. And we need to go ahead. And that's a message for every single person. Men and women, old and young, everybody. Students within your circle, live Islam and spread it for what it is. For what you know it is. Because people are judging us now by what's happening elsewhere. People are judging us now, and we are being affected by what's being promoted about Islam, false, which is not right. We have the right Islam, and we know what it is. Let's spread it, and let's, live up to that and give it to others as well, so we will not be facing all of these things that we are facing nowadays. Time has passed, and time is coming. Time is gone, 1 year is gone, 1 year is coming, inshallah. So let's put together some plans. Let's stop judging one another. Let's stop blaming one another. Let's stop belittling one another. Let's stop backbiting one another. Let's stop this internal fighting that we are having. We're wasting our energy and our power in those side clashes, different groups, different people. They are going the right way or wrong way or this or that. Let's get over all of that. And let's think that we are having a lot of work to do. A lot of work. People are coming to our masajid with guns. Inshallah, will not happen to us, but it's happening. It has happened in Arizona. Somebody is calling for it again. And what is it that we're waiting for? We need to reach out to our communities. We need to reach out to them. We need to talk to them.
We need to live Islam. Simply live as a Muslim. It doesn't cost you anything. Live and behave as a Muslim. You are an ambassador for Islam. We see the actions of Muslims, not only overseas, or we see the actions of Muslims here are not up to Islam. وكما قال بعضهم وأرجو أن لا ينجرح بعض إخواني بهذا نحن في الحقيقة متخلفون عن الإسلام. Yes, we are backward, but we are backward from Islam, not from the world. Wait, from the West. When Islam is teaching us rahmah, how much rahmah that we spread amongst people. When Islam is teaching us to tolerate one another, do we really practice that? How much tolerance that we have and we practice in our community. When Islam is teaching us unity, are we really united? Or within the same community you will see this and that and everybody will take his direction and go his way and just Islam is teaching us universalism, that we are having a message for everybody. Let's just live up to that. Let's not, if we are not even going to live up to that, let's not give the wrong messages ourselves. We have Muslims in our communities who give wrong messages about Islam. They do give wrong messages with their actions. With their actions, how they act with the community out there. So we give the wrong message and we probably sometimes keep blaming others, but we do enhance that impression that our fellow citizens are thinking about Islam. We need to change that. Just live up to Islam. Be like the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He was attacked a lot. From day one up until the end of his life, he was attacked in himself. His family was attacked, his friends, and he had to leave his town. A lot of things that he was faced with, والسلام, and always he was pushing back in the best way. He was always reaching out to young and old and poor and rich and everybody, and working day and night, والسلام, to the last minute of his life. He is either teaching somebody. He was even part of as big as military actions to the last almost year of his life, والسلام, working day and night working for the benefit of his ummah, him and everybody around him, even though they were small in number. But they sincerely worked and honestly worked. The consequences was big, the results was big. We need to do the same. We need to start working. The people who are working in our community, for the community, I'm sorry to say they are not, it's not everybody. It is just a small fraction. When we say, for example, we need some volunteers for this and that, just some of your time, some of your expertise to make something possible and happen. Come up and you start any effort, you start any good effort, come to the masjid. The masjid is open to everybody. We need the expertise of every single person, especially the young people. You are fresh, you have a lot of ideas, come up and we need to do a lot of things together, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Majority of us is just waiting for the board to set the parameters. They're just waiting for the imam to start something. And many times we have the programs. And again, I don't want to end up blaming others, but we need the effort, the ideas, the expertise of every single person. Not only the donation, definitely donations, but more importantly is the ideas and expertise and effort of every single person. And this is something that we need to do. So be proud at the end of 1 year, for example, to say that we have done that much work. We have reached out to our community, for example. We have invested that much for our youth and elders and everybody. And we make our community a better place for us all, inshallah azza wa jalla. So that was just as I hope it works as a reminder, as a message for everybody that let's sense time for what it is. We are aging, we are growing, we are losing of our time. The time remaining for us is limited, and we do have a lot of things to do. We need to start doing some of those things that we are supposed to do, inshallah. قولوا قولي هذا وأسأل الله العظيم في هذه الساعة أن يبارك في أعمالنا. May Allah bless our time. May Allah bless our time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us barakah in our home. May Allah give us blessing in everything that we are doing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala direct us towards the most blessed things that we can do. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always make us beneficial for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, for everybody around us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take away from us anything that wastes our time, anything that causes us any setbacks or anything that does not push us forward towards Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. نسأل الله العظيم أن يغفر ويرحم موتى المسلمين. May Allah have mercy on the deceased amongst us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the deceased amongst us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give recovery for those who are sick. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give shifa for those who are sick. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our actions, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us sincere in everything that we say and everything we do. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.